Hi, so I'm Wenchao. So I'm going to talk about Byzantine resilience at the swarm scale. So we all know robots can do amazing things, and if we have them work together, then they can do even more amazing things. Here are some of the applications that are enabled by multi-robot systems, such as shape formations. Let me actually show you. Hopefully, it doesn't play this out. So shape formation, search and rescue, surveillance and reconnaissance, cooperative target tracking and monitoring, and collective planning. Many things enabled by where the robots are tracking a moving target together. So in the ideal world, all the robots are well behaved, they work nicely together to achieve the overall objective. But in practice, right, things can go wrong. So some of the robots can fail. Some of the robots might be compromised by an adversary. So we want the robots to be resilient to these faults and potentially adversarial behaviors. And the strongest notion of resilience is called Byzantine resilience. Which means that even if an unknown subset of robots can fail or act in arbitrarily different ways relative to the cooperative robots, the whole swarm as a group would still achieve the group objective. This is a very difficult problem because we don't know which subset of robots are bad and potentially faulty, and we don't know what behaviors they can actually do. Let me show you an example and the recent breakthrough that we had. So here's it's a simulation environment. If you zoom in, these soft dots represent actual robots that move around in this space. And here's an application where the swarm of robot is performing target tracking. So there's a green dot here that sort of will move from the right top right to the bottom left. So because not all robots can observe the target. So for those who don't directly observe the target, they have to rely on information that is shared by their neighbors. And in turn, the neighbors might have to in turn rely on information shared by their neighbors and so on. So in general, any robots that might have to compute some consensus of where the target is and try to move towards the target, right? By relying on information communicated by neighboring robots. So here's the normal case where all the robots are well behaved and there's no Byzantine failures, and you can see that the blue robots, which are the cooperative robots, are tracking the green target nicely. Now suppose we have some bad robots in the field and they're going to communicate false information to the good robots, and they're going to tell the robots to kind of go to the four corners and very quickly, because there's no mitigation mechanisms in place, then all the good robots will just disappear. Now, the prior state of the art in this field is using an algorithm called WMSR, and I don't have the time to go over the details, but basically it throws out anonymous information without knowing which is anonymous. So it assumes some number of bad robots and throws out the same number of bad information from the neighbors. But the problem here is that you can see that, well, it throws too much information away, so it doesn't have any information to work with, so it doesn't track the target. Our breakthrough is called a decentralized broadlist protocol. And what I'm going to show you the results, and you can see that in this case, the robot would still track the target nicely, and it scales to very large settings, even with hundreds of robots with many different Byzantine robots. The group would still track the target very nicely. So thank you very much for listening.